you had some good sets with people on the like over the weekend at that. It was a regional, right? Or
Yeah, yeah. I think technically regional.
hell yeah! All right, so what do you think? Like, so talk to me. Like, what went well at the tournament? Like, the people you fought. I would say like they were seated pretty highly if I recall. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's definitely outseated, unfortunately.
yeah.
But I think it went pretty well considering that. I think the Falco set was very doable. I just screwed up one or two things, and well, maybe a couple more than one or two, but very doable.
Yeah, like they kind of like so the thing that stood out to me about the Falco set was that um I feel like he I feel like it was just composure for the most part. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you were nervous in that last game, but there were a lot of links and things that like you would
Yeah.
normally like that you were hitting in previous games.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's like he was DIing to like get out of them. I think we just
Yeah.
missed or like froze on a couple of them, which is it
Hmm.
had like in game 5 that happens sometimes. Like in any game that happens, but especially game 5, like that's just kind of a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Um, you know, we want to get used to playing in those conditions so we can kind of like manage those things as they come up more effectively. But yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
solid showing for sure.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I noticed was I wasn't edge guarding correctly. Like, I don't know if I was waiting too long to like double jump, but he would up B within back air range, and I would just short hop, then drift back to the ledge, and then he'd live for it. And
Yeah.
I've been 3 or 4 times, which he would have just died if I would double jump back aired him.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like the bear edge guards were not like we weren't aiming like the bear edge guards. Like the aim seemed to be like off on a few of them, and I wasn't exactly sure of the reason, but that makes sense. What you've described makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, the Sheik set was a little bit more rough. I think I probably was not patient enough for the way he was playing.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for openings. I was just kind of trying to make them, and that didn't work out very well at all.
Well, I think the Sheik set is like one of the big things about the Sheik set that I noticed is that I'm not, and like I don't know Luigi like as well as you do, but
Hmm.
one thing I question is like, what is like a lot of times when we're fighting Sheik, I think the temptation is to go in from kind of far.
Yeah.
But the reality is I don't think that like really makes a lot of sense, unless
Hmm.
she's in the air or something,
Hmm.
because when by us going in with this very long like observable trajectory or
Hmm.
like path, it kind of gives her time to prepare her wall and like prepare her reaction so that she can then like deal with us. And I think that's
Yeah.
where things go downhill. So I think like a lot of times what I'm noticing when Mango fights her with Falco and stuff, like a lot of there's a really big emphasis placed on getting close first,
Okay.
and then kind of like working from there. And I'm curious as to what your thoughts are on how Luigi would be able to like make use of that.
Yeah. I think you have just such good or Luigi has such good upward hitbox that if you kind of start getting close and she starts getting really jumpy, you can kind of beat her out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to play as many like rock, paper, scissors to get an opening.
Yeah, so like I'll show you kind of the type of spacing that I'm like thinking of. I'll just
Hmm.
open up the game real quick. So like what I'm thinking here is if we have like Luigi here and we have like we're fighting her. I'm thinking that like we want our wave dash to kind of like we kind of want to break our wave dash so it stops about here.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if we're starting here, it's like that.
Okay.
And like I don't know how else we I don't know what else like what else we do with it, but like what else we do with this, but like you see the utility of this because it's just like we can stop outside like the danger zone sort of.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Is there any other ways to like kill wave dash momentum? Like I guess dash dancing.
Yeah. Pivot. If if you're into that sort of thing.
So like something like this. Nah, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we necessarily need to like learn that, but like
Yeah.
Like that seems like a little unrealistic, but like I think that there is value in like the dash dance methods because like they do seem like or at least the dash away method because like being able to go for things like that seems like pretty good. I'd also say like jumping back like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You could also wave dash in backwards and walk forward, or walk away.
Yeah, that would work too.
Okay.
I wonder what happens if you like, yo, that's kind of weird. That's kind of interesting. Like,
yeah, you preserve a lot of your momentum in your walk.
I wonder if there's like any value in like something like in something like this where like you just kind of like use like his, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's just a baby weight. It's like it's not super fast, but like it is pretty pretty adjustable.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the thing I like about it. Because it's like a very baby wave dash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we need to. But like, I digress. I think the big thing here is I think we need to a way to stop with more precision, like outside of her zone, so that we can then like kind of like decide what we're doing from there.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the other thing here is that like if she swings on us in these spots, like it's not, if we're this close, it's not that hard to like turn around and down smash her and like hit her leg or whatever.
Yeah.
But like if we're trying to get all the way in and like do this together, I feel like this is just like there's so much that can go wrong here.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So maybe we have to break up with like moving in on her in steps, or maybe there is benefit to breaking up like moving in on her in steps. I guess is how I'd put it.
Okay.
Huh.
They have the sets uploaded if you want to watch it quick.
I mean, we can watch it. If today is an analysis day, we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have in mind for today?
I was thinking maybe watching Sheik Luigi set because I think that's definitely the matchup at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So link me. Hell yeah.
Oh, also I beat the guy that 3-0'd me at the last tournament. I 3-0'd him back at this last week, and that felt really good too. I feel like I played a lot better.
Nice. What do you think changed between the two? What do you think changed between the sets? Like what was better?
I think just overall my play was better. I was making better decisions. I think I was a little bit more patient with the Falco.
Nice.
I was catching him with a lot of things that or I was catching a lot of things that he was doing in the last set that I didn't think he should be getting away with.
Yeah, you did not like that Falco play.
No.
You did not like that loss. So I'm glad you got him back.
Oh yeah, speaking of that first set to that Falco, I asked him, "Do you know if Pokemon's a starter?" Because I didn't play very many friendlies before this.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know if transformations were on. He's like, "Yeah, it's a starter." And so we go to Stadium Game 1 and it transformed.
Oh my god.
And I think I took a lot of percent because of the cliff ledge on the right side.
Honestly, like depending on how far into the match we were, I might have been like, nah, we're restriking. Absolutely not. I'm not dealing with this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember a little bit of this set from watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he likes needles a lot.
Yeah. Needles and full hop, I think.
Sounds about right. And where do we go? Battlefield?
Dreamland.
Dreamland, okay.
I think I should have struck Dreamland in hindsight, and I'd rather go to Fountain.
Okay.
Just because this is so big.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to ask one small thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got into a good position relative to Sheik, and then you kind of like slid right back into where the needles are.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think would have happened if you just kept going forward here?
I think, yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, ooh, yeah, I shouldn't have wave dash back there. I was like in the perfect position to up air him coming down or forward air him.
Yeah, like you were moving forward, you go to here. Like I feel like there's what other alignment is better versus Sheik?
Yeah.
So I think that this needs to be like we need to like if you don't like the idea of being next being like so close to Sheik, like if you're I feel like okay, no, this is the wrong question. What do you think the purpose of that wave dash back is? Like when you start sliding back like this after you've just taken a good position, like what are you trying to do? Are you trying to like do another like do you think you're getting ready to start another wave dash? Like
Yeah, I think I'm trying to go forward again.
gotcha. So you're holding space basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is good. This is useful. So the big thing here is her needles are basically covering this zone. So with that in mind, and like they can cover similar zones as she moves, as like she ascends and descends with her fall. So, if you're trying to hold your position, I think that makes a ton of sense. But you can see like the problem with us moving in such big, in such big sweeping strides and going from here like all the like by operating in like this area. So here's my question. How do we hold position without doing like I think holding position makes a ton of sense, but how do we do that without moving into this area?
We could jump.
That's not really like we could. Is it like is there a reason like so what do we get if we jump? Like what are we doing with our jump? Because I could see us going forward, but I feel like this is like this isn't holding position. Like to me, this is just like we're going in.
We could just wave dash down again.
We could.
Hang out.
We could. What if we dash danced? Because we can work here.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because like the whole thing is we're trying to avoid this and we're trying to hold position. So like how this looks is like we wave dash, we dash dance tightly on and there you can do the fast ones too, but like really quick ones. But the like kind of like the ones Mango does in like the old VODs where he like BMs people. It would like BMs like Hungry Box Norada and beats them anyway. Yeah, but like we do them here, like really tight ones, because I think that gives us actually in a weird way. I think it actually gives us the most control over our character. Because we can jump it, we can jump in either direction with velocity. We can wave dash in either direction with velocity or without it if we don't want it. Like, it gives us everything we're kind of looking for, and it's insulated against the needle. So I just don't see like I don't see why we would commit for 14 frames to like to inaction when we have like we have really good action here. Yeah. So I'm gonna make a note of DDing here. Because like this I think is like an important thing. It makes sense that you're trying to like just jockey for position and like test their reactions, but we're already in a good spot. We need to recognize that. If we're gonna hold position, then like we can do that. We can do it in better ways. Because like this would be like this is weirdly enough another really good example of this. What you do here by crouching and then like wave dashing is also like kind of the same vibe of what we're like looking for here. Now, I think that we probably wanted to dash dance grab. Like, I think that dash dance grabbing might have made more sense, or like doing like I think there were better things to do than full hop fair there. But like the idea, like you have it's the same idea of like just hold the position, the good position once we get to it.
Yeah.
Now, when Sheik's already on the platform like this, and then comes off like this moment, I'm curious to what your thoughts are. So, what do you think? What do you think you're going for here?
I think I want to punish the landing, but it doesn't look like you're able to.
Yeah, so how long, what do you think the frame window is on Sheik's fair F tilt?
I have no clue. It doesn't look very long though.
Well, do you know how long an auto cancel is?
Is it just the regular landing?
Yep, it's 4.
4.
And then her forward tilt comes out on 5.
Okay.
So it's very quick. I would say, in general, it is not worth it to try to punish Sheik's falling fair unless you're already in position. If you have to move, then if you have to move any like amount, like any significant amount at all, then it's probably not worth it. And what I'd say is a significant amount is like, do you have to like, Like, if you have to dash, jump, cancel, grab, that's fine. But, like, if you have to wave dash, if you have to, like... If you have to do anything that involves your character actually, like, moving and not just, like, a burst that's attached to it as a part of, as, like, a mechanic, like jump cancels are with, like, up smashes and whatever, then, yeah, you just don't have the time to do it.
Okay.
You probably are going to be punishing the tilt or thing that comes after the jump. That's not, like, I didn't realize you didn't know that. Like, just how efficient she is.
I feel like I've known she is. I just don't know the numbers, I think.
Gotcha. I actually think that numbers help versus her. Because...
Okay. Yeah.
Because, like, she works with pretty, like... Knowing her windows, I think... And, like, knowing her windows, I think, helps us, like, understand what our... what the constraints of our timing is. And, like, what's actually possible to punish on her. So, as an example... We said that it's about, like, if perfect, it's 9 frames between, like, it's 9 or 10 frames between her fair F tilt. No, between fair F tilt. I think there's 1 frame of lamp falling where she has to kind of give up before she auto cancels. So it winds up being like 10ish frames between the two actions. No, there's more than that. It's like 12. Whatever. It's very tight. But after her forward tilt, do you know anything? Her forward tilt is actually larger than that. Like, after her F tilt, it's like 16 minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, 16 just for the F tilt to end, and then plus whatever the startup on the next action is. So the window is almost double compared to like. So that's why punishing the F tilt is so much like is like way more doable. Yeah.
Punishing Sheik's F tilt gives me like PTSD because right away when I started playing Melee, the guy who was trying to teach me how to play it just like would spam Sheik F tilt and say, "Okay, you have to punish between these," and I couldn't do it. It was too tight because I didn't know how to move, and he would get so mad at me.
Oh, I hate those players. Those players suck. And those players never get good, so it's like whatever. But I know as a player who is learning the game and like dealing with that is not something that doesn't help you. So I'm sorry that somebody like decided to like do that.
That's okay. It's something to laugh about now.
I hear like honestly with learners I hear about so many like shitty like high level players or like like for like within a local scene that like just did. They're almost like hazing rituals, and I'm just like, dude, like, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so I think that like one thing that I'm curious as to what your thoughts about this interaction are. So like we have this wave dash in again, like we get under her in the position, but I want to ask you, is this position like? I feel like the position we had before was a little bit better than this. Like in the diagram that I sent you. What is it about? What is the difference here?
Is it that she's not charging any needles?
No, because she's got them.
Oh. I'm not protected by the platform at all. If he throws his needles.
Yep. Well, I think it's an alignment thing. We're not underneath. Yeah. We're not actually underneath the Like we're not really underneath the platform that much. Like if we jump up, like when we jump, we're like we're not actually under it. Whereas in the other one we are.
Yeah.
So I think that like this might even be like, so when we're holding position, like after this dash, I almost wonder, would it make sense to dash dance to like go forward a bit and then hold the position there?
Yeah.
Because then like that probably allows us to not get hit by those needles and still be able to like come up and contest her as she gets closer to the platform. I remember you have a really sick combo, and I think in this game to catch up. Interesting. Is this like, was this a double jump? No, this is full hop.
Short hop. Or it's full hop.
Okay. Intentional full hop or no?
I think so.
If you could do it over again, do you think you would do like short hop, or do you think you do full hop there?
I think I'd rather do a short hop there.
I agree. I think that short hop is like, I think short hop double up air is honestly like perfectly, like pretty good. A lot of the time. I remember that F smash. I thought it was like a good choice.
Yeah,
yep.
I thought it'd make it. If he didn't die, he'd make it very hard for him to come back. Either way.
Yep. No, the logic was sound. Because like he doesn't have any he has to expend so much of his drift on and his double jump distance just like getting closer that like there's not a whole lot for him to do at that point. Gorgeous. Oh, I wish we'd been more aggressive.
Yeah.
Like you didn't see where, right? So what do we do here?
Like I feel like I just double or wave dash back off and then back air him.
Yep.
He's got no double jump to protect himself with.
Exactly. The other thing you can do that's like makes some amount of sense, I'd say, is like when you see him double jump, like you can just fall and land, and then you could probably just run off and fair him.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's basically the same thing, but except you just run off and fair instead of like wave dash off and back air.
Yeah.
But I like the fair because it like has more power. Yeah. But like where would you say is like the moment that you know that that's kind of like the line that's the play? Like what do you do to like create those conditions?
I think like right.
I'm just going back to like when it starts.
I think right when he double jumps high. Right. And then I can just hang out on stage and wait for him to either drift in and air dodge or drift back, and I can run off and hit him.
Yeah, so it's basically this frame then. Like this is where like all the magic happens, because like if we when we track Sheik's like movement here, it's like basically she does this and then kind of does that. And then what you do here is like with your movement is you do this, sorry, that's the wrong one. You do this, you come down, like you do that. It's not even, you don't even do that. You're like kind of like going up and then down, and then like with her as she passes here, that's when you just like run off and like fair her.
Yeah.
Or bear. Because either of them work. Doesn't really make a difference. Like it doesn't really matter which one you do. It's just like she gave you an opening. Yeah, this makes sense. I think the edge guarding and the positioning relative to needles are two things that are emerging as like very important things to like clean up. But it looks like there are but the good thing is it looks like there are ways to clean that up. No, clean parts of it up that are like that look pretty sound. So you must see. Why not? Okay, this decision was confusing for me. So you had this and then like you nared. Why nair?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay, probably just back air.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll know to back air next time. Because like we just need her off stage again. How did he get that? Okay, so we went for this fair, and then we went for another one. Okay, I see. Is there a way to make that second fair auto cancel? Or like something like I feel like it's just not, or like is there a safer way to come down after that fair?
I think you could just like drift back and wave land.
I'm wondering if we can swing, but also like land with some distance from her. Like, what's down air like? Does down air auto cancel somewhat somewhat generously or no?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Auto cancel after 24.
Okay. What the hitbox is at for how long?
Hitbox is 4 frames.
But when does it come out? Like 10?
10 to 14.
So basically, so
7 to 10.
So basically, we're like doing this and then this.
Yeah, fair auto cancels after 20.
Right, but like I think that like the thing here is like we're trying to like protect like our like front, from like which means that like yeah like so if we turn fighter collision on like we're assuming that we might have to potentially hit our opponent here.
Okay. Yeah.
Like this doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the position that Luigi's actually be good in.
Yeah, so like I think that this is just like when we hit the side platform, like we just do something like this instead of like. I feel like this makes a lot of sense actually because I've always wondered why people come down with down air like this, but like yeah, like it actually does have like a pretty good hitbox, and if it auto cancels, then like that's pretty solid. I don't know if I'm auto canceling this. Let's see here. Yeah, these are auto canceling for sure. Yeah, because this is like this is just like standard landing, so I should be able to act. Yep. That actually seems not bad. So you're saying that this is like something that you think Luigi's good at?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And you have a lot of wiggle room too with like how you do it. So like you could probably just like you don't have to like you don't have to fair right away on the way up, just kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe down air instead of fair. Maybe down air instead of fair because like just I feel like I understand why you're swinging, and I do see the necessity of being able to put a hitbox there. But yeah, I think that at the same time, it's just we need something that doesn't leave us quite so open. And I feel like L canceling fair, it's too obvious of an opening because it's kind of like her own fair except just much laggier. And I feel like she would like go for like it's cues too much to the opponent. Also, I feel like the sound, like the fact that there's a sound with it, like also kind of tells them like like that it's coming sooner. And like 12 frames L cancel is like a lot for like a sort of like medium range move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oof. How did we get hit there? Dash dancing, and then they just kind of like dash attacked. Where do you like? I feel like this is still like something that's sort of like difficult, like the respawn against her.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think that there's a way to like what do you think? What are you trying like? What are you trying to do here?
I think I like wave dashing through her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you were gonna do.
Working well. And I think I was going to right after this, but I got dash attacked instead.
Ah, so when you say after this, what do you mean?
Yeah, like I was gonna dash dance until he landed, and then wave dash through.
Gotcha. So, what do you mean by when he landed? Like, because he.
I guess when he's I guess after he came towards me again.
Were you waiting for a jump?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think.
So it's like like you're basically thinking around about this point or like slightly later, slightly after he's gonna jump.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't do it. Okay, got it. So this is good. So maybe like what this tells me is we need to be going forward. Like this plan is actually really good. This plan I really like, but yeah, I think we have to go forward faster.
Yeah.
What do you think is like if you had to like watch this back, like what is the point at which you'd say that like Luigi wants to like go like wave dash forward?
I'd say probably right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Why here?
I think now that he's in dash, he can only really.
Do you mean dash or run?
Or run. Now that he's in run, he can only really dash attack or grab.
Yeah, you could still jump.
Hop.
Yeah, you could still jump. Yeah. But like, yeah, all of those are like
Or
lungey things.
Yeah. Like as soon as they're like going towards me, he can't like cover right behind him anymore.
I love that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. So like, what I would say here is like, I think that this is like really it's a little earlier than this. It's really like around, when does she leave her dash? She's already like kind of left it. So like I would say that like it's kind of like once she leaves this point basically.
Mm-hmm.
So when she leaves this point and comes over, that's kind of how we have to do it. Are there any other characters you can think of where like this might be applicable?
I think probably Falcon.
Okay.
Peach maybe.
That makes sense. I was thinking like, could it be something that we can use versus like Fox?
Yeah, I think Fox also works.
So then left dash, enter run. So then what we do is we like, at what point on this line do you think we like actually do the wave dash though? Like how close to us do we let her get?
Probably where Wispy meets the fence post.
So like here?
Yeah.
This feels a little far away for me. I guess we're doing, although I guess I should clarify, what type of wave dash are we doing? Full forward?
Yeah, full forward.
Okay, so like we're going like all the way over here.
Yeah, just like kind of switching sides of the stage.
Okay, I can get behind that. I think it's still close, but I was thinking like here. But this isn't like super huge degrees of, this isn't a huge degree of separation. Like this is just like a minor thing. This is a minor difference. Okay, cool. I love that. So at this point, yeah. So we would flag this as like, at this point, wave dash full forward. I think that this is actually going to work on like most characters, to be on TBH, like in some capacity. Yeah.
Like the only one I'd be worried about is Falco because he can just short hop dare in place at any time.
No, with Falco we just don't. With Falco we just don't like. It's just not the same.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah. Up B, boom. You had a really crazy combo on, like, I think to open FD. I remember that.
I think that was game 3.
Yep. Game 2 was closer overall, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I do not want that roll.
Yeah, that's just tech skill. So, talk to me about these like wave dash talk to me about these wave dashes into crouches.
I think I'm expecting her to like do something like that, like get hit by a forward air. Or like an F tilt or something. Or I think he was jumping a lot, and
So what I like about the crouch there is that like you're low profiling the fair. Like that to me is like really good. But this one here, I feel like we're just kind of like willingly like playing into her like needle range.
Yeah, okay.
So this I think is like a spot where like breaking and like with the dash dance is really, 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 really important. Yeah. So like this, I think that this like the like catching like awareness of momentum like here is like critical because like this is like I think that the big theme we seem to keep like arriving at is like stopping Luigi's momentum when we no longer need it or where it works against us.
Okay.
Because like break with DD or something, or something. No, or other. Because like or other, I think. Because like we're going directly into her zone here, and we did not need to do that. Like this could have easily been like a very favorable interaction, I think, had we just like dash dance over here. But it's just instead we're just like kind of inviting danger. I think that DD here makes a ton of sense because like the other thing, the nice thing about DD is that if they shoot the needles, when they land, we're gonna have the choice to like on what we do about those what we do next. And it gives us like, again, it gives us like jumps with forward or away, with like with or without like dash jump momentum. Same thing with our wave dash. Like, it's just, we have a lot of things to work with, but like if we're still like sliding forward, like this crouch does nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that one is like that one would have gone under needles too. Like this is these are very, like all of these make tons of sense.
Okay. So yeah, I want to start crouching when I'm close to her, not far away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, like there still can be benefits to crouching when you're far away from her, but like they're much more like niche. They're not really like as worth thinking about as far as I can tell. It has to do with like basically just reducing the amount of stun you take from like a needle or whatever. But like these are fringe. I think that like I think distorting your height is like one of the ways that makes distorting your height, I think, makes a lot of sense. Just because Luigi benefit. I think Luigi being tall but then being able to like suddenly shrink. It's kind of like the Sheik effect where it's like, yeah, you're suddenly a big target, now you're a small target. On that note, I want to ask you about your shield pressure follow-ups. So here, like, we do this like down air, and then we do this like fair. I'm curious as to why we fared here.
Do you want to rewind a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was far enough away where I could hit her shield and she wouldn't be able to grab me.
Gotcha. So, and you probably thought that, like, and again, so this is, again, like, more of that momentum stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because, like, we wave dash forward, we, like, jump here, we do this thing, and then we, like, fall. What I would say here is, what's something that makes, like, I think that low nair makes sense for the shield, for the frame advantage.
I see this again.
Gotcha. Okay. We don't have to dwell on that. But we don't, like, yeah, being more safe, like low nair, I think it's so good for shield pressure. If you're able to set up for it, and I think it makes a ton of sense in those kinds of spots. Yeah, I think that like the role of our aerials is something that we might want to think about.
Yeah.
Like, what are the different jobs of our aerials? Do you think if you just up tilt it again, do you think you'd be able to get a second one out instead of like having to shield that back air?
Yeah, I think it would beat it.
Because to me, like, this double jump is like, yeah, like we had time to like crouch basically. What do you think? Are you trying to like crouch power shield into something?
I think I was just trying to shield it.
Okay.
I didn't really want the power shield.
Yeah, so what would you do at a shield here?
I think just grab her.
You could up B, maybe.
I think grab. So I think you get more percent.
Oh, right, she's at 37. I had your percents flipped in my head. My bad. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, like, it's just, like, probably up throw and then, like, fair her or something. Like, up throw and she goes behind you, like, fair her or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think up throw, up air.
Okay. Yep, you've convinced me. That makes sense. With the reason this happened is because your shield was kind of tucked out of the way because you, like, crouched. One thing I wanted to ask you about is, have you thought about, like, or how do you feel about potentially, like, dashing into shield? Or holding forward with your shield after. Because I'm thinking like we... Like, I just think... I worry that this is, like, we're tucking we're going to continue having things like that happen.
Yeah.
If we're not, like, if we're, like, you kind of want people to hit your shield high, right? And if we're, like, crouching while we're shielding, like, we're not really allowing them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Jab fair.
Yeah, I feel like I lost like 4 rock, paper, coin flips in those interactions.
Yeah, well, so what were you expecting to happen?
I think double jump there.
Okay. So you're expecting double jump. So my question here is, what if we just, like, forward tilted?
Yeah, that's better.
Because, like, if they double jump, we're still fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one way that we could have, like, played this better. So what's the next coin flip that we lose?
Uh.
Oh no, it would be earlier than that. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit earlier.
Earlier than this, or like?
I think this is good.
Okay, cool. So we're coming down.
Yeah. I think right here when I just like didn't expect something. Oh. I think I wanted like a short hop up air. I think I got a big one.
Yeah, the other thing I'm gonna comment is, like, you're walking forward after these. What if you had just dash jumped into, like, up air? Do you think you would have been able to get her potentially?
Probably.
Yeah, like, you're walking for a long time here. So, like, I feel like if we had just, instead of walking here, if we just, like, immediately dash jump forward, like, up air fair, like, I think we get her. So I think that, like, tightening up the timing on, like, those specifically on, like, launcher to dash jump up air to fair. I think there's, like, that's emerging as a point of cleanup.
I also think I chase him a lot. Now that I'm watching this back, where I'm just like going after him to hit him with something, and then I'm getting hit instead.
Yeah.
Or I could just like walk underneath him and then.
And just see what just be like, all right, do something. Yeah, like that. Like, I feel, like that to me is, like, kind of a good example, because, like, he missed completely, and it's like, even if you get that fair, like, what do we get from it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you fast fall and land on the ground, like, I feel like that's probably a grab, that could be a down smash. Like, there's a lot more things there that, and they tend to be pretty high impact safe hits too. So it's just, we're not setting ourselves up for success here. Like, with how we're, like, going with, like, we are chasing at points here. That one was hard, so I don't blame you for backing off. Like, that makes sense to me. But yeah, like, she's like jumping around us, and I think that, like, I think that when Sheik jumps above us like this needs to be, like, recognized as an opening.
Yeah, I agree.
What would you do here? What would you do here, you think?
I think just like a full hop up air or short hop up air.
Not fair?
I don't think so. I don't think it puts you in any better position if you forward air instead of up air. But if they DI the up air wrong, you just get your extra forward air.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
That makes sense. The couple percent that you get for the forward air isn't as important at this point.
Gotcha. I was thinking that the fair might do a better job of creating the edgeguard situation, but, like, I guess, because it's Sheik, she has to DI away anyway. And if she DIs away, then it's really not that different than just fairing her anyhow. So, like, if she survival DIs the fair, it's not her DIing the up air away isn't really that different than that. If she DIs into the up air, then that's just better. Yeah, I could believe. It's like negligible, like, benefit in one outcome with when we fair, but, like, big a benefit in, like, if we up air. So yeah, no, that tracks. I can totally see that. Ooh, yeah, I think that, like, okay, so something Jaryden I feel like is really good at is, like, knowing to grab, like, finding grabs there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you're doing these empty hops and stuff, like, do you ever think, like, empty land grab?
Yeah. Or maybe not empty land grab, I think. As I'm doing them, I can, like, not do the last one, then when they come up, I just dash, jump, cancel, grab.
Okay, but like I'm thinking like after this like short hop, like
good.
empty short hop turnaround grab. Yeah. Okay.
Like that.
It's all like the one thing that I would say is that like almost the only concept I'd consider like something of a big concept is just like the idea of like braking. But even here, like you kind of do a good job. Like there, you did a good job of it with your dash dance after the wave dash. But like most of the things that we're picking up on are like fine tuning. Like it's a lot of it just kind of is like we're very very like we're going for lots of hits, and we just don't necessarily have like the like we don't necessarily have everything the other threats established that we need for those hits to work. Or like the color.
I feel like I have a game plan, but it's very fragmented.
Yeah. Can you tell me what you mean by that?
Like there's places where I think I know what to do, but finding those places is like the hard part.
Okay.
Like filling the space between what I know.
So it's a space. So what would be a position that we like? What would be a position that you would say that like you know really well?
I think edge guarding I do a fairly good job of that.
Agreed.
And then finding like good punishes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like some extended punishes.
Yeah, so
But finding situations where I can put myself there though is like the hard part.
Yeah, so like and I think that we see that in this set dynamic like a good amount. Like I'm not even necessarily sure. So like I'll level with you. I'm not totally convinced. It's so much that you don't know you don't know how to fill the space between. Yeah. I think it's more that like there's ways to fill the space in between that aren't quite as dangerous.
Yeah.
Or don't leave you so open to things. And you don't know those methods.
Yeah.
Like, so as an example, like that dash dancing in the corner, I think was actually very good. I think at some point we needed to like go forward, and we did. But like I think we needed. So the thing I always wonder here is what are you attacking? Like when you decide to like go in to punish Sheik here, what are you punishing? Like what are you trying to attack on her?
I think I'm just trying to hit her once she hits the ground.
Okay.
And I think that's an issue because she's very good at going from air to ground and acting very quickly.
Mm-hmm. When she's actually like transitioning from air to ground, I'd agree. But when she's like when she's still in the air, one thing I want to ask you is like she's got her back to us like for so much of this. What do you think about like trying to like get in on her when she's jumping towards us like that? So what I'd want to do here is I'd want to try to like get under her and up smash her or like down beat her or something. Right. Or down smash her. Like as she's coming down to the floor though.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that she's begun falling, and we're hitting her just before she touches the ground, like a little bit, like just a few,
okay.
Maybe like about a Kirby off the ground.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because even though that her transition between air to ground attacks is fast, like if we just outrange her, if we just out position her fair or bear hitbox with our down smash. Because she's jumped towards us at an angle that's not really like serving her. Like, yeah, this here is like this is another good example of it. Like, so this was the right idea. We just were like a little early.
Yeah.
And then we have this happen. Yeah, so you're trying to like wave dash, but you're trying to like wave dash to punish after that, like after she's come down with her back air. So I will tell you right now, you do not have the time to do that.
Yeah.
You could grab this.
Mm-hmm.
Dash JC grab does work on this.
Okay.
It's tight. It's really tight. It's not easy, but like it does technically work. I don't know why, but I'm yawning a lot. I'm so tired today.
Yeah, it's. Oh, I was gonna say it's a Monday, but it's not even Monday.
No, what it is? It's really hot here in Canada for some reason.
Oh, is it?
It's like 13. Like, okay, so you're American. It's like 50 or 60. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty warm for us. Not quite that warm. It's 40 today.
That's insane. Like, that's crazy. What's going on? It's friggin' weather.
We were supposed to get a big blizzard this weekend, and we didn't end up getting that much.
How are bees handling? This is probably gonna. If this is too depressing, you don't have to answer. But how are bees handling like all this like all these fucky like temperatures?
Last I heard,
not well.
They've been doing really well actually.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
Like the Save the Bees initiative has done very well.
Hell yeah! This is what I want to hear. Are you just telling me what I want to hear because I told you? Okay,
no.
Thank God. I
was just
good
thinking
news.
about this, like this last week, too. Because I feel like I heard it somewhat recently. It was like one of those tweet threads like, oh, tell me, or like what it read that was like, tell me something good to hear because I need it right now. And it's something like, oh yeah, we've done really well with the Save the Bees thing.
Hell yeah! Honestly, like, you have no idea how much I needed that. All right. I feel like okay. I feel like the biggest. So, you said you're not really like a frame data person.
Yeah, not too much.
Okay. How much would you say this come? Because I'm now just thinking about like your Falco matchup, and how this impacts that, and how this might impact that. Would you say like how much would you like? Would you say that like when you're wave dashing? Like what characters would you say give you windows where you can like wave dash forward into their zone and punish punish what their action, like their aerial, I guess.
I think Falcon.
Okay, I can see that one. Because he doesn't really have a ground move to like follow up after the aerial, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could punish Puff.
Right. Same reason. Okay.
That's probably about it.
Okay. This is something is like, sorry, my brain is doing things right now. I think I finally understand one of like the holes in your knowledge and how it is and I think I have a better idea of how it is impacting your play. So we're gonna do some melee math stuff for a second, real quick.
Okay.
So a wave dash, as we know, is 14. No, it is the sum of two things. Yeah. It is the sum of jump squat. So like basically when we go into the air, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we wave dash, which takes 10 frames. And then we're actionable, which is how we do that. Now here's the thing. L cancels. How long do you think an L cancel takes usually? If you had to take a wild guess.
Like 10 frames.
Less usually.
Less? Oof.
Yeah, so like for Sheik uses auto cancel. So like a lot of the time. So like what she does is stuff like this into this. This is like the Sheik vortex. Well, it's the Sheik classic 1-2 punch. Like this is like kind of her thing. But what if she decides to do one of these like really low and like L cancels it? Well, let's find out how much that. Let's find out. So we have her doing it. And let's now see how long it takes. And there's reasons she might do this low as well. Like, bear in mind, like, this is like, she's basically getting the attack out and then having it come through. So, 8 frames.
Wow.
8 frames of landing lag. Because it starts from 0, yeah. So, 0. This means that your wave dash has to be... What does this mean about your wave dash?
That has to be started before she lands.
Yes.
It has to be over before she lands, pretty much.
Yep. So this is why. This is why I keep like. This is why I've kept saying like we need to be like finding ways to break like this, because it's like, because if we don't find ways to break, then like we can't really go in with the wave dashes at the distance that we want to, in order to set stuff like this up. And if we're this close, we just kind of. If we're like this close, we just kind of can't do that. Now, like there isn't the time for it. This is why dash JC grab works though, because like as you can see here, like we'll flip it. This occupies a 9 frame window, so you still have like. But the cool thing about jump cancel grabs is the grab goes count. Like it's really the grab that's the important part. It's really like you need to have the grab input on the same frame they land or the one before it usually. Or like one after, like because of like grab coming out on 7 and like have overlapping defensive options like like that I think is like grab winds up being really good at punishing landing options in these kinds of tight close range positions, just in general.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Why it's so good versus Fox.
Yep.
Why I really like doing it versus Fox.
But it works versus her too. It's just it's just hard. Like it's hard because like she has more range, but like like hell, you know what? Let's have her like buffer spot dodge after. Oh wait, record and we'll restore positions. Record, yeah. Oh wait, save positions. There we go. Clear it.
Huh.
Cool, huh?
That's pretty cool.
So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, whereas if I try to do this with wave dash, like that's never going to work.
Yeah.
This is also why like attacking like the cool thing here, this is also why like we kept saying like attack like the startup, but like if sometimes that's not possible, and I get that. So like this is why I keep saying like dash dancing these tight like spots is like probably not a bad idea, because like, and again I'm messing these up, but like you can see how that actually is possible.
Yeah. Okay, that's very helpful.
Yeah, it's also why like it's why Jiraiden and et al. Like do so much of that stuff. I think it's a really useful thing in almost every matchup, even against Marth. Like the nice thing about Marth in this, and it's rare as a Falco player. Let me just say, I have very few nice things to say about Marth in general these days. But the nice thing about him is like after he does stuff like this, like he doesn't have like an immediate like a 1 frame get off me move the way like the Spaceys do, or like, and nor does he have a good spot dodge. Like if he spot dodges this instead of like down tilting, he's only +4 or so, because his spot dodge is like really laggy. It's like 20. It's done in 20. It's the middle speed. It's done in 27, whereas grab is done in I believe 29. So yeah, like adding the dash JC, like he's still getting some amount, and like there's some variability with where the intangibility overlap occurs, but like he's only plus a little bit. He's usually not plus so much that he can like get a direct punish on you. So there's still like there's a secondary mix up you're playing afterwards, and you can see that there's like a lot of utility in this. Yeah. So dash JCs like very dash JCs, and like Luigi has like a good set of like moves on those. Like his up B is nuts, his up smash is pretty solid, his grab is great. Like
okay, yeah.
It's worth learning. Use new Uncle Punch to be frame perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like this just like blew your mind or something. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's really good to know.
So what? Like, okay, so like let's do our takeaways. What is it about this that is really like speaking to you?
I think it lets me space more micro, I guess, more micro spacing over macro spacing. Like I can space closer.
Yeah, so micro spacing expansion really. And what we'll do is like dash dance plus continue like basically build on the knowledge of punish windows that we looked at today versus enemy landing lag. Wave dashing is starting wave dash. No, we cannot start a wave dash when someone lands. And true punish. The wave dash has to have completed before they land. Like before they land for us to get our move out. And then that will be 1 because that is a big item all by itself. So then micro spacing expansion 2. We'll say this is 2. So knowing the above, dash JC continue build execution skill and internalize timings punish timings in close quarters out of dash dance and stand using dash JC grabs dash JC smash etc. Because there's lots of other things you can do, but yeah. What is another one we did? We looked at breaking. So on stage positioning versus on stage positioning. Breaking using DD to hold position versus hold position versus zoners like Sheik, like airborne Sheik. Actually, while we're here, because this is one other thing I think I can show you quickly. This is a small thing related to the other one, but so we're fighting Sheik on battlefield here, right? And you're trying to hold position. How long do you think you have to spend on a dash dance doing this? How long do you think each of those dashes is?
It's pretty small.
Right. Do you want to know how small?
How small?
As small as you want it to be, because they're variable. That's the crazy part. Because the thing is when we do this dash, we can change it at whenever we want. Until we hit the point where it becomes run, whenever that happens around 10. Oh, it's to 11. Okay, so we have 11. It's at least fewer than 11, but it's actually no, because we can trot too this, so it actually can be longer than that. So yeah, we have a lot of flexibility here. And you can see how we can do this, we can do this, how we can do this, we could do this, we could do this. We've got so many we could also do we could do this, oh god, this, this, we could do this. We've got tons of options at our disposal, but the problem with wave dashing is in the same amount of time it takes to do half of one of those dash back forward reps, that is the amount of time that we are occupying when we wave dash. Assuming we're doing the wave dash perfectly. That is a massive efficiency difference.
Yeah, for sure.
So really, breaking using wave dashes, using DD and using using DD under platforms or bracket or other desirable spots, location, spacings, to hold position versus zoners like airborne Sheik. And the very last thing that I wanted us to flag specifically is breaking. Yeah, actually, no, that basically covers it. I think that basically covers it, because again, a lot of this stuff is fine tuning. You have the diagrams, but it's these are kind of the key concepts that are related to those. I think, unless I've missed something. Have I missed anything?
I don't think so.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Keep up the great work, though. I'm gonna let you go.
For sure.
But I'm if you have a knowledge gap like that, or like there's a particular like facet of the game that you think could be helpful that you don't that you just happen to have been taught or learned, raise the. I would really appreciate if we're gonna know that if you raise those, because I know lots about this game from different like disciplines, and I want to. I like sharing that, especially if I think it will be beneficial, and I think that this was clearly beneficial.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so yeah, that's something that I can. That's something I can count on you to do. Tell me if you don't know something but are interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, Bees. I will let you go, and thank you for that lovely tidbit about how bees are adapting.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, later.